Now, it doesn't really matter what your personal opinions on Andrew Tate are. Like, my personal opinion is 80 to 90% of what he says is actually really good advice, and 10 to 20% of what he says is absolute garbage. Hi guys, this is Daniel again. In this video, I want to talk about Andrew Tate and why he is so successful and why he is destined to fail. I think the main reason for Andrew Tate's success is simply due to his mindset. If you've ever watched any videos of his, in particular any videos where he's interacting with his brother, one thing you'll notice is that his mindset is just really strong in basically every area of life. So when he thinks about himself doing anything, he always thinks of himself achieving it at the highest level possible. He always thinks of himself as beating every other person, as being better than every other person in whatever task he's trying to achieve. He not only thinks that about himself, but also he has the extra interaction of himself with his brother, where they both think that about each other and they both reinforce that belief on a regular basis. So if you've ever watched them interact, Andrew Tate and his brother, you'll notice that they are always talking each other up. That whenever they talk about achieving anything or, being better than anyone, they always talk themselves up to the absolute highest level where they have a deep down sense of belief in them about their own sense of ability. They know that they are better than everyone else. Whether that is true or not, they believe it. They both believe that about themselves and each other, that they are better than everyone else and basically every single task you could think of in the world. And it doesn't matter if that belief is accurate. It simply matters that they believe it. And by believing it, they are actually increasing their ability in all these different areas. For example, in fighting, in business, in communicating, in social media, in whatever kind of endeavor they're trying to excel at. By believing that they are the best in the world at that, they actually do increase their ability. Because we do know that the placebo effect is a true thing. It actually does affect outcomes because your mind can control your body and can control outcomes to a certain extent. So for example, by assuming that he is the best in the world at fighting, by assuming that he's the best in the world at business and making money, by assuming that he is actually increasing his ability in those areas, because with that sense of belief, it allows his mind to look at the world in a different way. It allows his mind to look at the world through the lens of a winner, instead of seeing things that might hold him back, instead of seeing ways that might not allow him to get to the goal he wants to achieve. Instead, he sees things through the lens of a winner. And by doing so, he only sees opportunities. He only sees things that can help him achieve the goals he wants to achieve. This is the benefit of having this very high level of belief in yourself. So it's not some mystical woo-woo thing where if you believe in yourself that you will achieve something. It's actually a really physical property where if you increase your belief in yourself, it actually changes the way you look at the world, and that change in the way that you look at the world allows you to find more opportunities, find more ways to actually achieve the goal you want to achieve. And this is why I think Andrew Tate is so successful, because he takes this to the next level. His belief in himself is basically off the charts. And it's not just him, his belief in his brother and his brother's belief in him is both off the charts. And they reinforce this on a regular basis. They spend so much time together that they're just constantly reinforcing these beliefs in themselves, that they are better than everyone else, that they can achieve anything, that they're the best in the world at whatever they want to do. They are reinforcing this belief to the highest level possible. And I think that is why Andrew Tate is so successful. Now, it doesn't really matter what your personal opinions on Andrew Tate are. Like, my personal opinion is 80 to 90% of what he says is actually really good advice, and 10 to 20% of what he says is absolute garbage. And you could really love him for the 80 or 90% that is really intelligent, good advice, or you could hate him for the 10 or 20% that is absolute garbage. But I choose to just take the good and ignore the bad. I also think his storytelling ability is off the charts as well. So whether his stories are actually true or whether they're just embellished, I don't think it really matters. His stories are really entertaining. Just like it doesn't matter if the Harry Potter story is not true or the Matrix story isn't true. That doesn't matter. Those are good stories. Just like his stories are also good. It doesn't matter if they're true or not. But one thing I've noticed that I think will be the downfall of Andrew Tate is the same thing that gives him so many benefits. It is his mindset. Now, his mindset is so strong in so many different areas that it allows him to excel in so many different areas. For example, fighting, for example, business, and dominating social media. He can excel in all those areas because his mindset is so strong in all those areas. But on the other hand, his mindset is really weak in one particular area, and that is why he will end up failing. And that is his concept of the matrix and of the elites being out to get him. If you've ever watched any content from Andrew Tate, you'll notice that that's one of the main things he talks about. He talks about escaping the matrix, how we're in the matrix, how elites are out to get us and controlling us and keeping us down. And whether that's true or not, that doesn't really factor into it. The fact that he believes that at such a high level is hurting him. So just like the placebo effect is true and can actually increase your health and can actually increase your body's ability to achieve things in the real world just by by believing in it, so too can the nocebo effect hurt your ability to achieve things in the real world if you talk yourself into a negative state. And that's what I think he does by talking about the matrix all the time, by talking about elites and people holding you back all the time. His worldview is shaped in a way that he thinks he is the best in the world at so many different things, but at the same time, he thinks the world as a whole is out to get him. And by doing that, he's actually making that more likely to occur. He's making it more likely that the world will be out to get him, because he assumes that with such a high level of belief, just like he assumes the good things at such a high level of belief. He assumes he's the best in the world at business, at fighting, and at social media, and that allows him to be better at those things. But at the same time, he assumes that the world is out to get him, and that will be his downfall. Because by assuming that, it makes the world look at him more closely. It makes the world more suspicious of him, more suspicious of his activities, and makes the world look more deeply into his past and try and find proof that he has done things wrong in the past. And again, it doesn't really matter if he's done wrong things in the past or not, or how many wrong things he's done. That doesn't really matter. What matters is, because of his belief that the Matrix is controlling everything, that the elites are controlling everything, that the Matrix has agents that are out to get you, his belief in that is actually causing that to be more likely to be true. It's causing more people to look into his past. It's causing more people in the world to look at his past and look for crimes that he's done, and look for any way they can put him in jail. Any way they can justify putting him in jail. That's going to be the downfall of Andrew Tate. So whether he gets out of jail, he's currently in jail at the moment. Whether he gets out, that doesn't really matter. I think he's destined to fail unless he changes this negative belief. Now again, most of his beliefs are highly positive, and they do actually allow him to achieve a high level of success in basically every avenue of life. But his one negative belief about the Matrix and the elites and the world being out to get him, that will hold him back. He needs to change that belief. Once he changes that, then he will be unstoppable. So that's something that I've taken away from Andrew Tate, is his mindset and his belief in himself. And it's something I'm trying to implement more into my own life. Just basically believing in myself more, talking myself up more, believing in my ability more. And I do think it's a trade-off. You can either be arrogant and effective, or you can be humble and less effective. You need to decide which one you want to be. If you're humble and less effective, yes, you'll be more likable, but you'll be less effective. Or if you're arrogant, yes, you'll be less likable, but you'll be more effective. You need to decide which one you're most interested in. And for me, at the moment, I think most of my life, I've been the humble one. I've always been very humble in my achievements. And yes, that might make me more likable in the real world, but it also makes me less effective in the real world. Now, if you've watched any of my YouTube videos before, you probably wouldn't say I'm that humble, because on my YouTube videos, I probably don't come across that humble. I probably come across far more arrogant, and that's because that's something I'm actively trying to add to my life. I'm not actively trying to become more arrogant. I'm actively trying to believe in myself more, to assume that I'm better at all the things I'm trying to achieve, to basically increase my sense of belief in myself. Basically, I want to increase my sense of belief in myself to a ridiculous level, to far beyond reality. And it doesn't matter that I will be far beyond reality in my belief of myself, because that will actively help me to achieve my goals more. It will actively make me more effective. So that's something I've taken away from Andrew Tate. So you might find in the videos that I come across a little bit arrogant sometimes, and just know that that is by design. I am trying to increase my belief in myself more, because the more I increase my belief in myself, the more effective I will become. If you like this content, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll keep you guys updated with more videos. Cheers, guys.